Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are in the world. I'm so blessed to be part with you today, and it is my absolute pleasure to welcome you to part 5 of the IMPART program, a 30 minutes business coaching session. If you have any business questions, please post them in the comment section as we go through this session, and I will answer them after the session. Although today I see Melissa is live, welcome Melissa. I will not be attending to a lot of questions maybe this morning because we've got so much this morning, so much content that I'd love to share with you this morning. So let's start. I would like to begin by framing the topic. Today's topic is how to take yourself from poverty to prosperity. And I know many of your thoughts. So many of you might think, this is not for me. I'm not in poverty. This is not for me. But what I would like to explain to you today, and that I'd like you to understand, is that every business, my friends, begins at poverty. Every single business you start begins with poverty. Poverty does not mean you are living below the breadline. Poverty does not mean that you stay in a shack with no electricity. When I say poverty to prosperity, I'm not talking about how well you dress, what fancy car you drive, or what you eat. I'm telling you about a business journey. And every business journey, except of course if you inherit rich, is from poverty to prosperity. If we, the Real Property Group, start with a new development on the 1st of June this year, we talked about it in last week's session, we start off in poverty. Why? Why do we start off in poverty? We start off in poverty because that development has not generated revenues yet. That business has not delivered any cash flow. Therefore, the business starts off on day one with a negative balance. Why? Because of the fact that we spent money. We spent money on purchasing the land, taking it through an environmental impact study, getting the land surveyor out to measure and plot the stands, putting services in, that means electricity, water, money spent on marketing, money spent on a launch, money on buying the name, the setup of the structure, the business structure. So every business, my friends, begins in poverty and goes on a journey from poverty to prosperity. Every business starts its journey with poverty because every new business starts with costs. My sons are currently creating the real estate company, their real estate company. That business will go on a journey from poverty to prosperity. And the things we do along the way will determine how quickly it goes from being in the red, then being in the black, and literally take it into a prosperous business. Day one, we begin in poverty. The business has got cost and has yet not created any revenues. Every business, my friends, embark on a journey from a beginning, a start from poverty to prosperity. And I will shortly be telling you my story and how I experienced firsthand this journey, my friends, a true story from poverty to prosperity. So, many of you will ask me maybe this morning, how do I take myself? How do you take yourself from poverty unto prosperity? Maybe if you are thinking about starting a new business or having a business that is currently not profitable. This morning, I would like to give you 10 steps to move you out of poverty into a journey to start prosperity. Point number 1, mindset. What is your business mindset? It is a way of thinking that enables you to uncover and see problems as opportunities. It is an understanding that everything around you is the result of someone having an idea and the execution of it. How is your mindset? Have you got a positive mindset? A strong mindset? You have to believe that what you are doing is possible. So your mindset must be set on believing that whenever or whichever product or service it is that you're selling, that it is possible, that the dream you have is possible. What is the condition of your mindset, my friends? Point number 2, goals or plans. A goal describes what your company hopes to accomplish. You have to have daily goals that become weekly goals, which become monthly goals, and which become quarterly goals. And this is how you equal success. Goals are your actions, my friends, what you must do every single day. Point number 3, hard work. Early mornings through all seasons, daily routine, and doing what it takes to get to your goal. Many people think that we inherited our success. The Van Real Property Group inherited success by maybe inheriting money. I get this response all the time. So are you the second successful generation? No, my friends. Myself and my husband started our first business, the engine rebuilding business, in poverty. It was 30 years of hard work, slaving ourselves, myself and my husband Mike, through all tough seasons. We faced many high winds, but we never, ever gave up. Even if you get tired, even if you are tired today, I want you never ever to give up. Have the mindset of pushing through, no matter what comes your way. Point number 4, you have to have focus. A business should focus on those things that lead to your outcome goal. Focus on your products or your services. When your focus, my friends, gets blurred, you become overwhelmed and so oversee or not see opportunities that comes your way. Or when you are maybe struggling to focus, it could be that you do not have a plan. Because when you have a workable plan, your plan tells you what you have to do today. You do not have to do everything today. You only need to do what is the plan for today. So overwhelm comes from having no plan. What is your plan, my dear friends? Focus on your checklist for today. And if you do this every day, it adds up. Point number 5. Determination. This is so important for me. Determination. How badly do you want success? How badly do you want to change what you have now? How badly do you want to move from poverty to prosperity? Determination and focus is different. Focus is your target. Determination is the ability to stay with it. Keep focused on the change you are moving to. I would like and love to share with you my story that I said earlier on I would do. And this is a real story. It might take a little bit of time, but I assure you it will be worth listening to. When I was preparing for this session today, it took me down memory lane to a place where I discovered how it looks to take yourself from poverty to prosperity. I was about 8-9 years old when my uncle arrived one Saturday morning out of the blue with his fancy Jaguar on our family farm close to Ventersdorp. So from the passage, I saw my dad and my uncle sitting at the dining table. I observed that my uncle became very upset and unsettled. My father called my mother and myself and my siblings, that was of course younger than me as I'm the oldest in the family, to sit down at the dining table. I was seated next to my uncle and my dad of course at the head of the table. All of a sudden my father left the table for a short while, but it felt like hours, my friends. He returned with a bunch of keys. The bunch of keys of his business, and he put it on the table and he said to my uncle, and I will never forget his words, my friends. Even though I was so small, I still remember this word still today. He said to my uncle that there is no need to fire him, that he resigns as from this moment. And he handed my uncle his business, my father's business. He handed my uncle the business keys. My uncle advised my father that he would also be taking my father's car. Now this, my friends, was my father's pride. It was a white Rover motor car that my dad just loved. Shocked, my dad replied that this was a gift. But my uncle replied and said the car was in the company and that he would send 2 people the next morning to collect my dad's car, which happened the next day. The reason behind my uncle's visit was that he had serious cash flow problems in the companies, and he blamed my dad's branch for underperforming, and of course, because of underperformance, cash flow problems. I remember the company's name was IMPART Feed and Seeds, which was a main supplier to the companies. They needed surety for outstanding debt, and my uncle thought that he had a solution by forcing my father to cede the family farm to IMPART Feeds, or to be fired then in his own company where he had shareholding. So my dear friends, my dad resigned, not knowing what was going on in the books. Remember, I told you, my friends, that the person who controls the finances controls the business. And this was the case in my father's company. Although my father on paper reached his target and even overperformed, it was discovered by an independent auditor later that orders were created and issued to IMPART from my father's business company and delivered to the Krugersdorp branch, which my uncle owned and had full ownership and solely management of. So of course, it looked like my father's company had serious cash flow problems. His company had creditors to pay. With stocks and products his branch did not sell. So turnover, no turnover. Profits, no profits. Serious fraud on my uncle's side, my friend. And one Saturday morning, early in the 1970s, I was 9 years old. My father lost his company. He lost his job, our family car, his dreams and visions for his family and his future. We were facing poverty, but Dad would not give up. Dad had the right mindset. He showed determination, hard work. I observed my father very closely during the next 6 months, where he sent many CVs out for a job. But because he had no experience, it was very hard to get a job. A man with a family without a job. He went from interview to interview, not getting a job. And of course, our family needed to be provided for. We had a bond on the farm that needed to be paid. My family had expenses. Our family had monthly expenses that had to be met on a monthly basis. And my father could not get a job. But my dear friends, my father made brilliant provision for the family during these very tough times. With saving funds during every quarter of his business, he purchased livestock, that was cows and sheep. And in these tough times, he sold them to provide for his family. My mother, working at the bank at that time, worked double shifts to achieve targets to contribute to the expenses of the family. Many times in this period, she only arrived home after 10 in the evenings, if I can recall, and never ever complained. My mother never complained. My dad eventually got a job at Beeld newspaper as a part-time distributor for the paper. I woke up every morning, my friends. I was 9 years old with my father at 3 a.m. in the morning. We drove with the company's Nissan 1400 to the main depot in Roodepoort from the farm in Ventersdorp, collected the batches of newspapers. As we got to the first distributor's point, I climbed always into the back of the enclosed Nissan 1400, and as my father drove and stopped, I picked up the batches of newspapers that was ordered for the point, delivered it by hand to the distributor, and so we went on with this routine for another 6 months. My father driving, me helping to offload the newspapers, and also bringing my contribution as a small child to the income of our family. Coming back 6 in the morning to get ready for school. On a monthly basis, we had a competition night per region, and there were fancy regions, my friend. We had to compete with fancy areas, with volunteers much older than I was, in getting the most future customers to sign up for the Beeld newspaper. I'm sure you all know the Beeld newspaper. It was, though, not the 3 months or the 6-month subscriptions that brought the most income value. It was in the 12-month sign-ups. And guess what? I, every single month, got the most 12-month sign-ups. My father's team won every single month. And as me, part of my father's team, we walked the streets, home to home, with an older volunteer, of course, and signing up subscriptions. It was here where I discovered the art of selling a product to an unknown customer, but making sure that I closed the deal with a 12-month subscription. But this is not the end of the story, my friends. One afternoon, my dad came home and told my mother he has rented a warehouse and that she had to quit her job to join him in the first family business. My dad was opening a new business in the same street as my uncle and invited all his old customers, which, of course, used to support him for many years. Not long after this, my friends, my uncle's company went bankrupt. He lost all his companies. My uncle could have kept my father, a loyal worker and faithful partner, but instead he turned my father into his biggest competition. Be careful how you treat your people. Be very careful how you treat your partners. That person who you are leading poorly or mistreating, doing deals behind your partner's back, having the wrong intentions, my friends, you can move that partner to your biggest competitor, which my dad did. Treat your people well. My father kept focus. He had the right mindset. He stayed true to his calling, and he took his family from poverty to prosperity. Many of these lessons, my dear friends, from my late father, that was imparted to me, I still practice in our companies today. I became the product of the thoughts of my father from a 9-year-old child. This brings me to point 6, which is vision. Ladies and gentlemen, my father had vision. A vision is a vivid mental image of what your business is to be at some point in the future, based on your goals and aspirations. My father had a vision. He had a vision for his family. He had a vision for his business. I want to ask you this morning, what is the vision for your business? What is the vision for your family? What home do you want to live in? What car do you want to drive? What legacy do you want to leave behind? This vision, my friends, is not your daily plan. Vision is your greater picture, your future plan, your big plan. What is your vision? What is your future? What is your bigger plan? Point number 17. We often forget our teams. I always advise companies, start with a small team. Bring in the right people. Learn to delegate and manage your staff. You cannot grow alone. You cannot build an empire alone. Build a good team and manage the team well, and take them with you to the top. Point number 8, money management. And this topic is very dear to my heart. The control of cash flow in your business, my friends. Cash flow is money in, money out. And probably the most important point from poverty to prosperity is your money management. Last week we talked about creating revenue. This week I'm talking on keeping revenue. Are your expenses more than your income? Have you got project sheets that you control on a weekly or a monthly basis? Have you got set up budgets in your company? Are you generating enough income to meet your business needs? If you control your money management, you stay in control of overall expenditure. With detailed and accurate financial information, it is much easier to make informed investment decisions. Do you save? Do you invest money? Do you put aside money for times when the big winds come? When you control your money management, my friends, you will be able to spot the potential areas of risk in your business. Without money management, your business is most likely to fail. Point number 8, and this is one thing that my dear father had, a courageous heart, my friends. You have to have this, because it will get you through tough times. Tough times will come, my friends. They might come mighty winds. Everything does not always go according to plan. There will be trials. Things happen in any business. Just have the courage to keep moving. Stay focused on the vision with the determination, and then ending with point 10 this morning, my friends. Believe in yourself. The second most important point for me on this topic: use positive affirmations. Think positive thoughts about your business. Use positive words. And in the words of my favorite quote that you will find on my Facebook page, and fits in so beautifully with believing in yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, I share with you now, watch your thoughts, for they become your words. Watch your words, for they become your actions. Watch your actions, for they become your habits. Watch your habits, for they become your character. Watch your character, for it becomes your destiny. It begins with your thoughts. Believe in yourself. Believe in your business or your product. Your ability to believe that you add value in things. In part 1, I shared with you, we spoke on impact, about impact. It begins with impact that your products have. Do you believe so much in yourself that you create an impact, or that you make an impact even? Then we moved into my journey and my lessons that I've learned. Your business will go through all sorts of ups and downs, and you will learn lessons as you go along the way. In part 3, we spoke about fail-proofing your business, and as long as you follow these principles, you will fail-proof your business. And last week, remember, I shared with you the importance of revenue creation and how to create revenue. So what we are doing is giving you everything that you need to believe in yourself, believe in your business, believe in your family, your product, your service. Remember, a thought becomes the word, becomes the action, becomes the habit, becomes the character, becomes the destiny. I hope that you had wonderful value from this part 4 of the IMPART program. I love sharing with you each week, and I look forward to our next week's session, where my topic will be Bulldog Determination. My name is Estelle van Reel. I'm a wife, a mother, and a businesswoman. See you same time, same place, next week. Be blessed. Goodbye.